Hi there folks, it's Jonathan Denwood from WP-Tonic, and in this video I'm going to be discussing the technology solutions that you need to run a successful virtual summit. They're all the rage at the present moment because of COVID and the new variants. I'm going to do a big dive. I'll be back in a few moments, folks. We're coming back. Yes, I'm going to be discussing what some of the options you've got around live virtual summits and events. Really popular to run at the present moment. It's really difficult to run a face-to-face event. I don't think personally that's going to change anytime soon. And I don't really see it ever coming back to the extent it was before COVID. So what are the solutions out there? Well, it really depends on the kind of virtual summit you're going to be doing. Is it a more salesy, or is it more education, or is it the mixture of the both? I've written a very extensive post on the WP-Tonic website that goes in a lot more detail than I propose to do in this video, because I propose to keep it snappy. But the link to the full post will be in the video notes supporting this video. But I'm going to go through a couple of the key players and some of the things that you've got to understand. Now, surprise, surprise, number one is that most virtual summit or most virtual meetings type thing don't have between 100 and 500 real attendees. There's of the 100%, I would say 80% fall in between 100 and 500, and then the 20% get much larger audiences for the virtual summit. So you've got to, and it's really dependent on how much promotion, the quality of the virtual speakers, the keynote speakers, how much promotion, pre-promotion you've done, how big is your email list, what is your presence on social media, blah, blah, blah. But I'll be doing other videos that go into that in quite a bit of detail. But at the present moment, we're looking at technology platforms. So you've got two options. Either you go with a SaaS or you go with WordPress. I'm going to go through some of the key players in the SaaS, and then I'm going to point out a really great solution on WordPress that we've built out for a couple of our own clients. So let's quickly go through some of the major players on the SaaS side. One of them is Hopin. Hopin bought StreamYard. StreamYard is a web-based platform that allows you to do live video, which you can push to YouTube or to Facebook, or a number of other platforms which it supports. And like I say, they bought it about a year ago. Hopin bought StreamYard. Hopin provides a really nice free product where up to 100 people, it's basically 100 attendees, it's free. And then it takes a percentage of what you're charging. Its integration with StreamYard is pretty good, surprising. So it's definitely one to look at. Another one that's been a long-term player in this business is WebinarJam. They've been around for 4 to 6 years. They did have some trouble with their original platform, which was based on Google technology, and Google messed them around. Google's re-entered because of COVID. Google's re-entered this market, but it hasn't got a great reputation compared to Zoom or Microsoft Teams. WebinarJam built their new version 2 on their own server platform. It's a much better system. Now, it's a real kind of Kajabi, if you know Kajabi in the membership area. WebinarJam has everything in a package. It has the email sending functionality. It has a lot of functionality inbuilt. And if you're in that 20% where you're definitely looking at though that you're going to get attendees between 1,000 to 5,000, it does offer, it's one of the best value if you're in that middle ground of 1,000 to 5,000 attendees. If you get up to the 5,000 level, it'll probably cost you $400 a month. But it does provide a lot of functionality, and the team behind it do know what they're doing. Another alternative is Zoom itself. Now, you've got to buy an add-on, a Zoom webinar. It works really very, very well. It's not web-based. The people attending the webinar will have to download a player. Zoom, almost everybody in the world maybe now has a Zoom player on their computer. They provide for all the major operating systems, mobile and desktop, Android, OS, Mac, Windows, you name it, they've got a player that will run. This add-on it costs around $40 a month. You can buy it yearly. There is no point. You don't get a discount. Unlike the normal Zoom, that gives you quite a heavy discount if you pay it annually. They don't provide any real discount or incentive for you to buy it yearly. So I would just buy the month to month 40, and that will enable you to run 100 people on Zoom. And obviously it's pretty rock solid, great support. Most people, that are in work of a certain type have used Zoom, so they know how to use it. Over 100 people, it rapidly gets quite expensive, to be honest. And if you're looking between the 1,000 to 5,000 area, you'd be better off looking at WebinarJam or Hopin to run your event. There's a couple others that's in my article that could also interest you. Now, the WordPress. Well, we've run a couple virtual events for clientele, and we use Lifter LMS. And we've got marketing automation. We use SendGrid as our email backbone. We use Lifter to sell tickets and to sell membership. People can sign up for free, and then they're emailed offer, and they can buy a different level of membership. We do a full custom. We can do a full custom look for the client, and you can either have the videos playing on the server, and then you would need extra quite heavy server resources, which we can provide for you through Google. So that's not a problem. Or you could use YouTube Live to actually do the videos and do the live videos, and people can watch the videos by logging in. That reduces the bandwidth requirements of your server. The latest one that we did, it was still a very large burden on the server because they had hundreds of thousands, well, 50 to almost 100,000 people logging in over a weekend. That's a lot of people, folks. So, but normally we had to set up a special arrangement. It was a bit complicated, but normally we can keep it on the same server. and set it all up. And the great thing is you run the virtual event and then you can just run your membership site. And then when you decide to run the next virtual summit, it's all set up. The page is all set up. You just change some of the graphics, boom, you're off again. It's a great solution. So if that sounds interesting to you, you can book a session with me and I'll go in some more detail with you about how to use WordPress with Lifter LMS. It's a great solution for a virtual summit. Like I say, I've got more detail. If you found this useful and I haven't been rambling on, hopefully I've kept it focused, give us a thumbs up. It really does help the channel, and do subscribe to the channel. It really motivates me to make more videos like this. I'll be seeing you soon, folks. Bye.